Alright, so this is going to be a short video. Not very much time has passed since the last video. I've done a couple of new things. You can see here out in the front I'm beginning construction on a building outside. Been stockpiling stone to get it done quicker. But the main reason I want to do this video is to showcase the Waterworks, which are going to be one of the most complex things in the fortress by far. So we'll go down to the floor on which the waterworks basically you can get to from. You go past Noble Quarter, you go down these stairs, and then you enter the main area, which will be uh, designated out for the waterworks. Okay, so on this floor we have a hallway leading into a gigantic room. In this room, there's at first going to be a large wall around a large channeled out section in the middle. And then on the sides here you can see there's the staircases that go up a floor. So let's go up a floor. Same setup here, except there's no entrance or exit. So this is again just a large channeled out sort of pit in the middle with a wall surrounding it. And then on the top floor you go up one more staircase. You enter basically the origin of the water is going to be right in here. Now the way it's set up is really complicated. Just designating this was complicated, but I want the dwarves to do it in a certain order, because if the order is not done properly, then things won't get dug out properly. So that's incredibly complicated as well. But the way it works is, there's the staircase. There will be a door here, a door there, a door here, a door there, and then floodgates here, and a very large channeled out area here, and another series of floodgates here, all these blank spots where there's just one piece of mined out floor. That would be where a floodgate goes. And then right here there's a floodgate, and right here. So there's like 3 layers and then like redundant floodgates to prevent any sort of flooding in the fortress. And the way it works is the water will be coming from these 2 like excavation pipes, which will go into the river and have a constant flow of water. When the excavation pipes connect with this outer layer, the water will flow around all the edges here, and if the floodgates are on, it'll be held back and only held in this outer layer. Right now they're just cut off from that section because I don't want the dwarves digging out that part first. But anyways, so the water's held in this layer here, and there's obviously going to be a high volume of it, and it should build up to 7 height. But the idea here is that I don't want all the water kind of sitting in a giant pool. I want it evenly dispersed around the edges so that the pressure should build up, and it should come through the gap much more quickly than it would if it was just kind of in a pool. Then it goes into the second layer, which again, just kind of another layer of redundancy to prevent flooding in the fortress and also build up pressure. Then in the third area here, goes through another set of floodgates, enters this room, probably going to spill over this tiled area here quite a lot, but then it'll go into this gigantic channel, which is basically going to look like a pit once it's completed. Right now it just looks like part of the floor with arrows on it. But once it goes into this channel, it goes down a floor into this area here, which is, it looks undesignated, but that's because there's a channel directly above it. And there will be a small walking surface area around the edges, and I'll be connecting maintenance tunnels to that area at a point in the future. But this whole section that you see here with like the regular mining designation, that all is not going to be designated because the way that channels are dug out causes problems if you have something designated for mining on the floor below at the same time as they're completing a channel. So this is just kind of to give a visual representation of the walkway that's going to be around it. And then also, this area here is going to be another channel, so it exits the main pool, heads into this channel, and then it proceeds down to the next section. But in this area, this channel will also have floodgates in it to prevent the water from escaping. So again, we have another layer of redundancy. And you go down another floor to that channel, it enters the pipe here, where it will pool over and come around the corner. go down this channel here and enter the last phase of the water deployment, and that is the last channel. Right here and right here there will be floodgates. This area will be opened up, and then the water will and these areas right here will also be walls, but the water will pour into the last chamber here, and around the edges of this chamber will be walls, except for like right here. Like basically it'll look like this, and the water will kind of cascade into the pool, and that way we prevent the overflowing aspect. And again, there's going to be a wall around this layer here. There's not going to be an easy walkway, so the water's not going to flood over into this room. But that allows the water to build up in this area, build up in this area, and it basically creates a gigantic pipe of water in the fortress that I can then sort of divvy up and start dealing with the actual mechanical processes that are going to generate power in the fortress. So it's an incredibly complex thing to designate, to sort of plan out, and I still haven't got all the details hammered out, but that's the gist of it. And so that's how the Waterworks are looking at the moment. And once I get them all set up, then I'll be probably irrigating some more land closer to the bottom here, and that way we'll have farms that don't have to be so close to the surface and all the way up here, and that will create create an atmosphere which is much easier for us to do milling and gather sort of the wheat crops instead of having to do the mushroom crops, because then we'll be able to use millstones and other stuff that's down here to grind down the grain products that we're going to create. So that's the plan for the Waterworks at the moment, and it's going to be probably expanded greatly. But again, this whole construction here is just to get water into a central pipe, which can then be used for later storage. It's like a gigantic water tank in our fort. And then on this wing over here, I haven't designated anything here yet, but this is likely where the machinery aspect of the Waterworks is going to be, where we generate power. And so that's how that's shaping up. Then on the bottom floor here, you'll notice that we do have some miasma leakage. I've had to create a new wall around the butcher shop because I want the miasma to vent upwards instead of outwards, and it seems that the default direction for miasma to go is like northwards or upwards according to the map, and I want it to go the other direction. So to do that, I have to force it that direction by creating a wall between the miasma and the butcher shop, and that will make it go out the fortifications here. So it's sort of working now. Then I finally started building the second bedroom here, and it looks like it's actually done. So I'm going to go ahead and designate this, and this goes to our manager, who is Elite Gamer. And the nice thing about being a manager is that unlike being a bookkeeper, you can do stuff at other times. Managers aren't constantly managing stuff. They can also perform their original role, which allows Elite Gamer to do engraving as well as managing. I figured out how to set the doors to internal. What that does actually, I mean, I knew it could do it before, but I didn't know what it was for. And that means that now the mayor gets this entire highlighted area here as his bedroom instead of just this last segment. And that's what I initially wanted to do, but then I couldn't figure out how to create that scenario. And on the fortress here, yeah, we're making some outside structures. This is likely going to serve as a guard tower, so that we have our marked dwarves. When I start training them, they will sit up here in this tower and rain down arrows from their crossbows at enemies who approach our gates. So yep. Those are the main changes for now. The forge section of the fortress is under construction. I don't want to showcase that in this video, but it's currently being dug out. And this is just a quick little update to showcase the Waterworks and to explain a little bit of what's happened in the fort. So, yep. Catch you next time.